Hey, welcome. All my right thinkers, thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Farm. Thinking right out here in the lab. Well, I do what I do for you. I'm going to get a little rant on some people going to think it's personal about them, and if it is, too bad. But yeah, I'm speaking about you. So here we go. I'm back again. Subliminal message and talking to those who need to hear this. Let's go. Rightisms, 25 we live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive it. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm getting through. Pay attention, I got you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to might not be true. I try to have conversation with people. Conversation is I talk, you talk, we go back and forth. Right thinkers, let's talk about people's philosophy about those people who talk but and don't listen. Uh-oh. Excuse me. Yeah, excuse me. Now this is one of those, if this you don't know nobody like this, you might want to check yourself, okay? And those kind of people, they're going to express themselves. They tell you that I'm just expressing myself. Everybody, and I got to deal with them. So let me talk about them very quick. So maybe they'll get the lesson. They want to tell you everything. I'm the teacher, but I'm being taught. So let's go. My pastor said, "Don't worry about it, right?" Everybody preach to the preacher too. Thank you. I feel a little better. All right. Yeah. Even you even talk to you ever talk to that person and they do all the talking. You can't get a word in that's why because they just keep going. I try to stop them. You can't just tell somebody to shut up. And she was telling me, this person was telling me, if I'm talking too much, tell me shut up. Everybody tell me shut up. No, respectful. I'm not going to do that. But when I try to get your attention while you're talking, because you don't hear me, I'm trying to say, slow down. Hello. I get it. Yeah. What? So yeah, it's a little frustrating. And then they get the idea when they say, well, you do most of the talking. That's when I had to show restraint and respect because it's my elder. I love it. But they don't really see their flaws. It's ain't my boy, ain't my job to do that. So I try to be real delicate. I say, okay. So I will not tell you to shut up. I'm not going to do that. Why? It's disrespectful, first of all. And it's intended to get your attention. But I'm trying to explain to you and show you I will allow that. But when you get done, you still don't listen. When I try to explain to you what you're doing, it don't get the point. You do all the talking. He talk. I listen to you all that. Respectfully, I listen to you, but when you just keep going, it loses its effect. All right, me being a teacher, first, no, something. I can't get a word in edgewise, and it takes what I take mental note of that. So now I gotta be judicious with what you really want to talk to them, and then she gets her. Don't start calling me. Really? Okay, love you. By me being a teacher, I'm being taught by who should be what? The student. But it's all good. Why? In life, I respect my elders. And if you got years over me, you got the floor. Simply that. Just that simple. We ain't got to argue, hoop, holler, fuss, and fight. I'm gonna give you the respect that I give my elders. I was raised that way, so I ain't got no problem with that. No matter how smart you think you are, how grown you think you are, you still respect your elders. I see my sons, guys, when he's growing up. I see them now. They grown men. They ain't the same little kids they used to be. Okay, but and they respect me still to this day. And I love that. Why? I respected them. I never did nothing to them. But again, respect is given. But when they speak, when I'm speaking, they listen. When I was talking back then, they called me the preacher man. I didn't know that. Because they probably been in my car. I'm taking my son. I got all his boys with him. I'm driving and talking. So I guess it's one of them things. I do a lot of talking. I'm sorry. I get that. I understand that. But to my credit, I'm a good listener. That's how I know other people that I talk. Why? If they're talking and I can't get a word in edgewise, I must be listening. Yeah, that's my point. I ain't got a problem listening so that I can what? I listen personally so that I can address what you're talking about. But if what you're talking about just go on and on and on and on, we can't even address what half the stuff you said. We ain't even going. Went through everything, so we can't address it. Conversation, respectfully. You say a few things. I reiterate what you said to me in my way, let you know I'm listening, paying attention. That's conversation. But if you just want to talk, that's called monopolizing the conversation. And monopoly is only a game you play on the board. Okay? In life, it don't work for every purpose. Why? It don't work for nobody but the person who's doing monopoly. The one who's doing talking. And when I tell you, when you're talking, at a certain point, I get it. I got you. I'm telling you in a respectful, and politically correct way. Shut up! But I won't do that. Again, if you can't learn talking, the reason I talk here, I spend my time learning. So what I'm saying, I'm teaching, hopefully instructing, giving information. I ain't just here run off at my damn mouth. Some people say, unless I turn in to get a lesson, or I heard you talking a bunch of nonsense. That's your opinion, you're entitled. But I do this every day. Come on, man. But I have something to say. And the talkers believe they got something to say too. But if I'm the one listening to what you're saying, like my man said, bunch of crap, I feel like him sometimes. I can hear bullshit. I can recognize nonsense. But respect, I gotta listen. Again, I show respect because I want to be shown respect, so I got to show it. Disrespect gonna get disrespect. I don't want that. Okay? But because they are so busy talking, they can't hear me. Even when I'm agreeing with what they're saying. They could go, I hear you. I agree. Yeah. They ain't care. They heard a word I said. But they would talk 2 or 3 minutes and moving on. But that it gets so annoying. And all I keep hearing, don't stop. Oh no. Well, if we have a problem, me and whoever, don't care who you are, don't care. And I'm avoid that problem. Why? For to avoid going there. I ain't trying to go there. So how do I do it? I don't go. And TK said, no. Monday morning quarterbacking is to do something that you know is wrong and realize it's wrong after you do it. If you think it's wrong, you might want to refrain from doing it. Why? Because it's going to have consequences. Whether you want them, like them, everything comes with consequence. So your actions, your words, be careful how you choose them. I say a lot of it, and I stand behind all of mine. I don't get emotional. When we get emotional, we tend to lose logic and rationale because we feel it. I don't deal in feelings. So I'm not caring about how you feel. Don't care who you are. Don't care. So your feelings is yours. Keep them to yourself. I don't need them. Moving on. I don't give you my feelings. You might not like that because they don't mean anything good. That's why. And if you feel a certain way, it's the way to express that. I ain't got a problem with that. But remember, be mindful. Constructive criticism goes both ways. If you want to give it, you got to be willing to receive it. That's why when a guy got a gun, the stick up man only want people who what? Don't have a gun. If I got a gun, you got a gun, you can't stick me up. Moving on. Unless you catch me with my pants down, so to speak. In the Wild Wild West, it was, okay, put your gun on, let's go have it out. And that's one fight that one of y'all ain't coming back. Moving on. Back in my day, this is all you need. And that held a lot of weight, what, in the hood. Okay, what I'm saying, but well, oh yeah, this is my money right here. Okay, and when they couldn't handle it, I picked up Pat and Charlie and put them down fast as I can. Going the other way. So that's just called survival. When you have to fight or flight. Okay, when the odds are not in your favor, time to fight. All right. Again, we at the point of people talking and express themselves, and they don't see or hear themselves because they don't want to do no talking. But because they don't hear nothing, you gotta say them because they the one. Again, you can't learn talking. Expressing yourself is cool, but to not let others express themselves ain't cool. Why you gotta be the only one who can express this? Like your only expressive kind. I got stuff I want to express too, but I can't because if you're talking, both of us can't talk at the same time. So having understanding and having that balance in the conversation is important. Why? It can cause a person not to want to talk. Well, I ain't talking. I'm listening. I ain't trying to hear you. I might want to call. I'm calling you if I want to talk to you. I ain't calling you because I want to hear you. Just saying. Some people do. Well, I want to. Yeah, okay, that's fine. But conversation, that's 50-50 I look at. And okay, expressing yourself is cool. Okay, I did that one. Now, if I'm listening to you and what you're saying is not right or correct, why should I continue to listen? I'm a teacher. If I'm explaining myself talking, I'm having the purpose and the reason what I'm doing and saying. To just hear somebody, I don't entertain that. That does me no good. That's all. And if you that kind of person, we won't be talking in conversation. That's all. No hard feelings, but I ain't doing that. Simple. All right. We was given. This is a philosophical concept. This ain't personal. This is for everybody. We was given what? 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. He knew that the less you talk and the more you hear, the more you can learn. You can't learn if you're doing all the talking unless you what? Study and prepare and be a lecturer or a teacher. Well, that's what you do. That's what I do. Even when I'm not here doing that, I still carry myself in the same manner. So if you want to have a conversation with me, let's have at it. But if you don't show the respect, or you ain't saying, we won't be talking long. I can guarantee you that. I don't care how you feel about that. Hold my interest. Let's go. I'll give you a shot. Moving on. I teach this concept of what? Listening twice and talking once. Hear what's being said before you talk. That way, when you talk, you're talking from what? What you heard, not from just what you want to say. And a lot of people, if you're talking to them, they're not listening. They just waiting for you to finish talking so they can say what they want to say. That's not listening. I hear you. That means you're not listening. That burns me up. Why? That's that ignorant mentality. Well, I hear the words coming to my mouth, but I ain't paying attention to that, y'all. Why? I got something I want to say. I want you to listen to me. You see where I'm going? You can't have an intelligent conversation with an ignorant person. And it get worse if you got 2 ignorant people. Argument. I watch that all the time. And both of them think they're right. But most people talk twice as much as they listen. And I know as a teacher, you can't learn nothing from talking. If you use your mouth more than your ears, okay, you won't be learning nothing. That's a philosophy. Why? If you know how to talking, unless you proficient, orator, speaker, lecturer, teacher, whatever, just talking to hear yourself talk or talk to make your opinion or your belief heard, nobody give a damn. Spare me all of that. Okay, we can talk about what I like, but don't give me what you respectfully. If you use your ears and listen twice as much as you use your mouth to talk, you will learn a lot more. Guaranteed. I practice that philosophy also. I talk here because this is what I do. Outside of here, I'm a listener. And that's how I know what I'm talking about when I come here. Okay, I'm address what you said. Wow, I was listening. But you can't say the same thing. When I'm talking to you, soon as I get done, you talk about something totally different than what I was just talking about. That tells me you wasn't listening. Yeah, you heard me, but you wasn't listening. You get afraid it going one and out the other. When you're hearing it, that's what it does. It go pass through. When you're listening, it stops. You hear it, register it, comprehend it, and give back feedback on what you heard. People don't do that when they're not listening. Why? They don't have that ability. You don't have the conversation, the wherewithal. Why? Because it didn't stop. You heard it, but you don't listen to it. So understand that, please. Self-mastery is also what? Mastering these things right here. Listening. That's a quality that you have to, again, it's an acquired quality. We wasn't born to listen, but he gave us 2 ears to hear twice as much. But we don't listen. Why? We hear. Hearing is sound. Stuff going on. I hear a car going by in the streets. I hear that. I'm not listening to it. A truck going by. Hearing is when somebody's directly talking to you and you're directly intensive listening to what's being said. When we go watch TV, we're listening. Why? We want to hear the dialogue. You ain't hearing it. You're listening to it. That's why you can verbatim say half the stuff that you listen to, but the stuff that you hear, you don't have a clue what the hell was said. So understand that it ain't personal. It's a human instinct. And learning is part of mastery. Self-mastery is learning how to listen. Use the tools that you have. All 5 senses should be mastered by you. Detect the smell, see what's need to be seen, hear what, discern what need to be heard, and understand, and listen, and reflect, and understand. That's how you learn. And then you can touch. And the last result is taste. Those are ways you communicate with this thing up here. It don't know no other way. Moving on. So if you ain't using it that way, you really you ain't mastering your brain the way it's intended to. Why? The 5 senses just sitting into the brain. Give it information. If you're not a master of yourself or a master teacher like me, you should do more listening than talking. I'm a teacher. I'm supposed to talk. I get paid to do this. So I'm doing my job. This is a job. Outside of here, I still handle myself in the same manner. Why? I'm the same dude. I ain't changing because I'm off. No, this is how I am. You want to talk to me respectfully, we can go at it. But I don't deal in nonsense. I don't argue. And I ain't about debating with you about what you think and how you feel about what it is I do. Moving on. Again, conversation respectfully, no problem. But if you're not intelligent, we're not going to have a conversation. Why? If you're ignorant, I'm not going to have an intelligent conversation with you. Simple. That's why I don't have those conversations with ignorant people. I'm not going to argue and debate with you. That's what y'all like to do. Okay? Why? For whatever reason, that's what makes you ignorant. If you listen twice as much as you talk, then you would learn a few things. That's what I've been doing most of my life. Well, listen. You listen to hear. You see to observe. Okay, when something smell ain't right, you can sense that too. So you use all the 5 senses all the time. You should be. Okay, that's just a natural instinct. I mastered the art of listening a long time ago. Long time ago. That wasn't one of my priorities. Why? I've been listening all my life. Why? That's how I learned what I learned. Listening, paying attention. Okay, but when you are the art of listening twice as much as you talk, will serve you well. Why? That's how I learned most of my stuff. I read a lot, yeah, but I also listen just as much as I read. Again, use these things to communicate what information to yourself, serve your brain, give it something to do. It's always busy. It wants to be unless you, my brain gonna explode, plus my brain hurt. No, that's you being confused and not knowing how to use the brain. It's like putting the car in gear and not knowing how to use the clutch. Some people, they ain't manual like that. They can't walk and chew gum. So they got to get it automatic. All right, let's go. But I do a lot of talking. Yes, I know that. But I'm trying to show by talking the reason why I'm a teacher. That's what teachers do. We talk, we instruct, we give information. I ain't just up here talking, cracking jokes, and telling a whole bunch of nonsense. Hopefully I'm giving you information. Like I said, useful information. I take that serious. So that's what I do. And I'm a true content creator. Why? I got to sit here, all this. I got to write out. I got to think it, conceive it in my mind, and put it down in paper, and then be able to deliver it to you. That's content creating. If I whip my thing out and got busy, how much creative am I doing? That ain't too creative. I'm just putting it, being a little facetious, but that's what is going on. And I'm like, yeah. And he got a bunch of views. I'm getting no views. So y'all infringing on my business. Y'all cutting into my business. I can't teach because everybody. Wait a minute, I got a lesson for y'all coming up. Let me say this to you right now as a man. They say the best way to a man's heart is through the stomach. No, go a little lower. Coming from a man, that's advice you could take to the bank, ladies. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all already know that. That's why y'all do what y'all do. The oldest profession in the game is what? So understand that. And for them to do that, they got to have what? Customers. You can't sell a product without customers. Moving on, put that out there. But how'd I get down? No, get back to the lesson. I do a lot of listening so that I can what? Learn from what somebody is saying, what's being told to me. I hear a bunch of nonsense. My discernment say, man, I don't, carry that. But stuff that's interesting, stuff that give me enlightenment, I'm all in, all ears. And I don't care where it come from. Don't care who getting it, okay? If you a crackhead, you got a good philosophy, the philosophy is fine. But whether you use it or not, no, but the philosophy, I agree with the philosophy. I have no problem with that. Whether you use it or not, don't make a difference. But all idea is you know what you should be doing. But listening is an art. A lot of us haven't perfected. All right. Talking is too. And a lot of us haven't perfected that either, but that'll stop us from doing it. That wasn't nice. All right. Last one. I appreciate you tuning in. Let me get this out the way so I can move on. I feel a little bad now that I did this. I listen to talk. And some people listen what? So not to listen. This can be some people talk so they don't have to listen. Why? Because they talking, they ain't got to listen. You know the kind of people? Shut up! They always just get it. So they ain't learning nothing. You can't teach them nothing. That's why you gotta be judicious and you're dealing with them. You got to realize before you go out there in that street, what you're gonna encounter. When you go into the hood, when people, white people, when they get off work at 5 o'clock back in the day, first they do get in their car, lock their doors. What do they want to do? Why? They don't want no trouble. Because fear. Somebody told them they run to your car and jacket. Well, they was. So it's about being prepared, knowing what you get into. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So that's the funny part. And that happens. Why? Everybody got their own, little fears and placebos about and stereotype. Again, we live for that. But I'm trying to explain to you. I learned to be an attentive listener. And as a student, remember, I was a student before I was a teacher. So I had to be all ears. And my teachers were sharp as a tack. And I learned a lot from what? Listening. Now, and you learn to listen for what? For knowledge and education. That's what the first thing learning is what? Listening. Before we had books, we had to what? Folklore, speaking, talking, passing money down through campfire storytelling. What I'm doing now, just putting my little spin on a twist on it. But I'm doing the whole thing important. My whole purpose is to what? Enlighten you, educate you, inspire, hopefully motivate you to be what? Your best self. So I got your best interests at heart, not mine. Moving on. Now, I have been a listener all my life. Again, since a little kid, that was my thing. But you talking, when you're talking, I'm listening. And because I'm listening, I can tell that what you said is good or not good. That's my discernment from being what? A good listener. Moving on. And an intelligent person who reads, studies, and practice what I know and live it. You can learn twice as much from listening than you could from what? Talking. Okay. A lot of us love to talk, hate listening. They go hand in hand. Understand? I know people who hate to what? Listen, but they want to be heard. That right there tells me a little bit about your character. And that's how I can, if you's a talker and ain't a listener, you are ignorant, ignorant, ignorant. Why? Because you want to be heard, but you listen to nobody else. That's just wrong. Simple as that. And you can't justify because this is what you're telling me. I do all the talking. How would you listen? I don't do no listening. How you learn to talk, to have information to talk about? See, again, listening is part of learning. I know that a long time ago. Okay. And I know people who, again, hate to listen but love to talk. You know them kind of people? All right, let me take it on it. I had to get that one in just for them. Take it in. Again, appreciate you joining in. I need to be this long. Sorry. But just do what I do. Trying to enlighten, inform you, entertain you to a degree. But when you talk twice, as much as you listen, you will never become enlightened. That's a philosophy that I teach, that I live by. So practice it. You'll do well. Right things. Hope you enjoy the lesson. I got to go. And in closing, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I know none of my right thinkers who listen twice and talk less have passed away. Learn to master listening.